People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. You guys know I appreciate you guys each and every time. I defo appreciate you, especially Arsenal fans, especially after what you've seen. Like, we already know what happened, people, you know. Arsenal won, Manchester City 4, Manchester City 4, Arsenal 1. In the live stream, I said, you know what? They're gonna score 5 before the game. I wasn't far off, and it's expected, you know, it's expected to concede those goals, really and truly. Probably surprising or extremely surprising that they never got a fifth, in my opinion. But for me, it's how you lose. Like I said, we all expected to lose, but I wanted to see some credibility in the performance, some soldiers in the trenches, some, you know, trying people that are trying to achieve mission impossible. Instead, we're talking about managerial tactics or lack of. Again, we're talking about individual mistakes. If it's not a keeper who clearly isn't good enough, it's centre halves. It's more of the same now. You know, clearly it's the only thing we can sit here and say is it's the Cat Yarabel Cup, and we're atrocious in the league. Not that we're playing for anything in the league, but it's not in the league. So this is probably why jobs are still going to be secured. But it carries on what's happening in that pressure is being mounted over a certain managerial's position. And again, players. Only positive today is Martinelli, and that's even been flipped on its head now because we don't know if that's an impact injury, if that's a niggling knock or whatever happened in that regards. That's the only positive. You know, we look decent and look like half a team at 1-1 for a sec. Pardon me. But again, we've gone into half time and it's been nonsense. But I'll get into that game. I will get into the game, people. What are you lot saying? Please make sure you hit the like button. Big up yourself, Michael. Big up yourself, Michael, man. He's played well. I'm not here for all of that, with all due respect, Michael. I've spoken about him at length. Just check out my other videos with respect. He's done all right, man. You know, hit the like button. Big up my guy, Sandro. You know, Chris has already hit that. You know, Mamadou is saying it's an utter shambles. That's the right way of putting it. Starting 11 was terrible. It's crazy, man. Can't blame you for having that thought. Wish I knew. I don't see why Saliba couldn't have played in the game like that, or what Saliba wouldn't learn, because you brought on Balogun, who, you know, Balogun should be getting more minutes in the first team anyways. I don't get it. Before I forget, I don't get what's going on, because apparently he's made abundantly clear that Leno is his first choice goalkeeper. I hear that. You need to rest Leno. You need to do this and the other. But why would you start Leno against Liverpool? Why would you start him in the opening stages of the Europa League and then throw this Renison brother in? I'm not being funny, but you lot used to get onto me in my live stream. I said this Renison guy is suspect. You know, I clocked it from the Europa League group stages. So can I really be surprised that he's made these calamitous errors that he hasn't to the scale he has? Probably not, really and truly. You know, on one hand, I wouldn't say I feel sorry for him, but he's clearly someone without the capabilities to be in goal thrown in. I have to question Arteta, because you're training with this guy week in, week out. If you feel he was good enough to have any chance of shutting out some of the league's most potent goal scorers, I don't know what to be said in that regards, people. I don't get it. You play Leno in the Europa League group stages early on because you want to set the tone. You've played Leno against Liverpool away. You know the form we're in. You know that more than anything, whether we win, lose or draw, we need a credible performance. Why the hell would you throw Runnison in there? We've seen that he's dodgy collecting crosses. His positioning is poor. He's very random. He never gives you any calm vibes. He's an accident waiting to happen. He's clearly not a man that has the capabilities at Arsenal. And personally, whoever sanctioned on his signing deserves the sack, in my opinion. They deserve the sack. That should be the first and last game Renison plays. Now, I'm not saying we should get all on him. It's not all his fault. I don't advocate witch hunting, but I don't understand it, because we've heard he was a recommendation of a coach. So what coach has sanctioned that? Obviously, you're not just going to take one person's word and just sign a man. So we've clearly watched footage. We've clearly watched games. We've clearly done scouting reports. So there's a collective group who have sanctioned this. It's not making sense. The guy is not of the capabilities. You know, there's even rumors he's even designed to be third choice goalkeeper at the club. So I don't think you've helped yourself. We knew this was going to be a talking point. You know, the only luxury I think he's been saved is that Kolasinac was poor and was playing people on side. Mustafi was poor, but none of them players made the mistakes. It was the keeper, and to be fair to the keeper, while I don't sanction it, if it's not him this week, it's Mustafi, David Luiz, or some random person getting a red card or not taking chances the week in, week out. We've got to play a squad just filled with bad individuals who make bad decisions. You know, Martinelli was the one bright spark. Even before the game on my live stream, I said, look at him, he's geeing up his players before the game. You know, going into it, you saw Martinelli, he looked like one of the only players that was going to make something happen. He was pressing and it looked like something was going to happen there. Obviously, he's got stronger as well. He looked to be a physical handful. That's the only positive. Only positive, really and truly. We know what to expect with Manchester City. We know on a bad day, even if they rotate players, they're a good squad, you know. We know they've got players who can score goals and cut us open and have great movement. So why did we not defend against any of this? We've gone into this knowing this and still being blind. We've again, like against Burnley, courtesy of an own goal, like against Everton in the 44th minute last game, we've conceded from a set piece scenario again. Forget the keeper, you know, the set piece is what is going on. I see your super chat, my guy. I'm going to get to it in a second. What is going on? And for me, we're going into the Chelsea game. They've got Kurt Zuma, who is a problem from set pieces. They've got, what's his name? Thiago Silva, who scored from a set piece. They've got Mason Mount, who can deliver them. Are we going to learn our lessons? Will said, deluded, my guy, what's the move? Players look devoid of anything, struggling to find solutions. Personally, I don't think too much is going to change today because it's the Cat Yarabel Cup. If we don't get a decent performance against Chelsea and against Brighton, even before that, Mikel Arteta, in my opinion, is done at the club and will be gone. The only luxuries he can afford himself is that it's a Europa League game. I mean, it's a Cat Yarabel Cup game. Obviously, with the lineup, we all would have probably named a stronger lineup, but that's told me that you've thrown the game. Like, in hindsight, you've clearly told us that the main game is the Chelsea one. You've thrown Runderson in there. Obviously, Martinelli deserves to start full time anyways. But I think in hindsight, Martinelli was like, cool, let's see if you can get 90 minutes or so. So we threw this game. You know, Eddie didn't play. He's probably going to play against, you know, that means he's probably going to play against Chelsea. I don't know this for a fact. Aubameyang's injured. You know, we made our bed. And so I would have thought you play a strong sort of team, you put in a credible performance, and let's see if we can get some momentum or any sort of joy or feel-good factor. None of that was there, people. Big up yourself for Mario. I honestly rate you for doing this, especially in this period of time, man. Not mention you're going to watch these games 3 or 4 times over. Have to, man. There's nothing else. But I've been talking, you lot have seen, you know, Renison gave it. For me, if you're a goalie and you don't give confidence, that's the first red sign. The second is you're vocal. You don't look too vocal. There might be a language barrier, but he don't look too vocal. The size of the goalie, you know, he's not really commanding. His positioning is very unorthodox. His decision making is dodgy, whether it's where he stands in his box, the pass he gives, he doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing. He seems unassured of himself. And I can get at the player too, I'm blue in the face, but at the same time, he hasn't picked himself. And like I said, if we went over, you know, done the scouting stuff and the rest of it, and we conceded this man was good enough, then that talks about the level of incompetence within this football club, people. It really does. Our set piece coach needs sacking. The medical staff needs sacking, you know, because I don't understand what's going on with the medical stuff, which we'll get onto. I really don't get it, people. The keeper isn't good enough, man. Bro, I don't blame you, man. I've got a couple. I got a couple bottles. I'm not opening none of them till Christmas Day for my personal game. But the rear neff is down there. That might have to get done, people. Card. This is ridiculous. We've got no legs in midfield. If it's not Thomas Partey, there's no party. Forget about it, man. Shout yourself, Bazza, as well, man. He's not a keeper. Like, the height isn't there. Doesn't collect. It's just disappointing because, you know, I'm not going to say there's some positives, but I do think the game, I don't know what's said at halftime. I do think we threw the game away in the second half. Not saying we'd win, but we weren't out of it. There was stages where, in my opinion, Manchester City did look a bit vulnerable. I think both teams looked like they could be got at when playing out from the back. There was a period where we was playing okay. Like, I feel in the grand scheme of things, we were very sloppy in possession. We were struggling to play 5-yard passes, you know, and a team like City, defending is a way, I mean, how you hold on to the ball is a way of relieving pressure on yourselves. Because like you saw, we were struggling to play 3 or 4-yard passes. We're just booting the ball aimlessly, and they're camped in our own half. They're in our half. We're camped in our own half. It's going to get tiring. And you saw that, you know, you need people who want to hold on to the ball. You need people with a bit of quality, because just by holding on to the ball, relieves pressure on your team and allows you to get further up the field. But instead, we're struggling to play 5-yard passes. We're just clearing the ball aimlessly. Movement as well. It was admirable seeing the movement of Phil Foden, Mahrez, Gab Jesus. It was lovely movement from all of those players, people. But again, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Players are leaving gaps. We're still open. The only positive I can say is at a period, I was actually seeing El Nene play all right. I think Ceballos didn't have his worst of games. We looked all right for a sec, but we threw it away at halftime. Whatever was said at halftime, I don't personally know, people. Big up yourself, Tom, with the super chat. I got real questions about our weight training, strength and conditioning. Can't be all bad luck. Hope and pray Martinelli is okay. Also, big up yourself. I appreciate you for your super chat, and I can't really add on to more of what you said, people, really. Big up the Atlanta people. To be fair, Martinez wanted to go after it was made abundantly clear that he would be a backup goalie and Wood Leno would be first choice. First choice to me screams you play games like this. Second of all, did we really look to sign a due diligent second choice keeper? Because apparently we was looking at a second choice, and then Martinez emergence made it a non sort of thing. So did we genuinely want Runnison, or did we have a quick fix in that allegedly a coach referred him? Dijon, they didn't want the biggest of fees. The player would be happy to sit on the bench, sort of thing. It's crazy, people. It's crazy. And, he can't help himself. I don't know who recruited him. Arteta can't help himself, people. He hasn't covered himself with any glory. The lineup, it was bewildering. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, I think these players that I looked at, that they looked a bit dodgy, they played slightly better than I thought. The only really one I can talk about and get at is not only the fact that we look poor from set pieces, but obviously clearly Runnison. Big up everybody locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button. Bro, it's not even that cool. You can only see an L. You could only see an L against Burnley. You could only see an L against Southampton. Somehow we survived that. You could only see an L in this game, You can only see an L in the Chelsea and games to come. It's not going to get better for us. It's not. It's really not going to get better. And for me, it's about how you start. We're not following runners, You knew 3 of them goals were not following runners. The first goal, 4 minutes or so in for Gab Jesus. It's wonderful play by him, Zinchenko and whatnot. But it's lovely movement from them. They've got in between Mustafi and I believe Gabriel. Rinneson's ball watching the whole situation and hasn't come out. Just by coming out and acting like you're collecting the ball, you've given Gabriel a decision to make. He might think, oh crap, this guy's going to take me out. And he might not do that. Please hit up the like button, people. He might not do that. So the first goal, we shot ourselves in the foot. We got ourselves back in the game through sheer determination from Martinelli, in my opinion. He's put a cross in initially. And shout out to Joe Willett just by making a nuisance. Because as I said, City did look like they could concede. The only good thing we did, they ain't got a clean sheet. That keeper was rushing out. There was times, like I said, Martinelli was catching them in possession. And, like I said, shout out to Joe Willett for his involvement in the first. Because just by being involved in the box, I think Joe was a nuisance. I actually feel Joe was all right in his little pressing role. He gave Laporte something to think about. As I said, Martinelli did well. Eventually, Lacazette headed it. That's the only positive. What is said at halftime? Again and again, we keep saying the same thing. What is said at halftime? Because at halftime, it's a tale of two headers. You've got one Brazilian who's assisted a Frenchman in Lacazette for one. You've got Gabriel Jesus, who scored after Zinchenko cross. Movement, like I said, Mahrez is huffing and puffing. Foden's picking up spots, as is Bernardo Silva. And you're seeing gaps in our midfield. Really and truly. The only positive I'd say, I think Haaland tried. Haaland went out fighting. Everyone connected to Haaland did all right. Maitland-Niles had patches, people. I'm going to share my screen so there's more structure of my thoughts in relation to this game, people. 1 second. Let me share the screen. Share the screen. Google tab. Please go to the reaction Google document. So, yeah, people, as you can see, pre-game, like I said, I could only see us getting smacked. When I think of Manchester City, I think of off-the-ball movement. They pass to disrupt the opposition. Arteta knows this, so I can't understand the amount of gaps we are seeing, the amount of free space players we're getting into. So I think movement and runners, 3-4 minutes in, we've let ourselves down. I think goal scorers all over the field. Like we all knew Mahrez, Foden and Gab Jesus, they all do well against us. We knew they would get on the score sheet. All you're looking for in a game like this was just pride, a bit of pride, a bit of some sort of hope and confidence to take from it. Just some decent performance, just not looking like mugs again and again. You know, like I said, first half, I felt the early goal killed any confidence we had initially. I did see some reaction, and I saw some bravery, and you know, I thought Martinelli was where we would get something because he's pressing and he's causing a couple heart and mouth moments. I didn't understand the lineup, but I felt prior, you know, Kolasinac is playing people on side for the goal we conceded from a set piece. But I think he was doing well in terms of winning his aerial battles. I feel Cedric was doing all right. I feel El Nene and I feel definitely Sabas had a better game. I don't feel Sabas was dead today. El Nene had a bit more of a braver game in possession. I saw a bit. You know, the problems is there's still no system. We gave the ball away extremely cheaply, and we don't press as a unit. Like, you've got Lacazette walking around, and when he presses, it's just one man. It's very easy to bypass. Because as you saw, the couple moments when there was a bit of confidence in the game, and we were pressing them high with numbers, I won't go as far as to say they were struggling. They were still getting out, but there was a couple moments where catching them, we were picking the ball off them early before it's even got out of their centre halves. It definitely looked like I'm not going to say we could get something out of the game, but definitely play a bit better, people. As I said, shout out to Ceballos. Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles in the build-up, but for me, it's all Martinelli and his sheer determination, you know, to get us back in the game. And the only good thing I saw from Lacazette was that goal. And again, we knew what we'd have to expect. We knew there was a lot of running. We knew we have to follow midfield runners. We knew we'd have to be spot on from set pieces, and all of which was just thrown in the bin. So yeah, man, like I said, we knew we'd have large periods without the ball. We knew that we can't afford to switch off from runners, yet we still did. I think Gabriel, our centre half, Gabriel, I know there's hella Gabriels around. I think he was evidently told to stay tight to Bernardo Silva, because he just completely took him out a couple of times. Don't think it was the worst game from Gabriel, but not the best of games. You know, 9 minutes in, you know, City started fast as you would expect, and we had what? They had 11%. We had 11% possession. They had 89. You know, and like I said, some players are pressing, some aren't, and this is fractured, which is easy to bypass. I think it took us about 12 minutes to wake up, as I've said here. Could finally see a bit of keeping the ball, a bit of bravery, a bit of trying to play it out from the back. Saying that, Rudiger's decision making throughout the whole game, not those just those mistakes, was appalling. And to be fair to Rudiger, I will give him his credit, because as poor as I think he was, in the 41st minute, he did make a big save. You know, one positive thing you find out about him just by going on Google is that he's okay as a shot stopper. It's not good enough. And like I said, we saw better quality, but I felt Rudiger's distribution was also poor. I felt large periods of the games we gave the ball away, but in this period, there were some encouraging signs with the pressing. I have to give credit to Joe Willock, because he had a lot of running to do. He had to do that sort of wide position press. He also got through a lot of doggy work in the midfield. I'd be surprised if he doesn't have a shower, have a quick bite to eat, and go straight to brushing his teeth and getting to bed, because he's done a lot, you know. And he must have played his way into contention playing on the weekend. Not that anyone has. Like I said, people, it was encouraging as well that we didn't go down. We didn't go down at half. We didn't go down at halftime like against Everton, conceding a cheap goal. We at least went into halftime with something. You know, we reacted well. I'm not going to say it's a credible performance, but within the context of having to have 11 men behind the ball, having to concede possession, knowing we lack overall quality on the ball, I think we've done okay. There are some things I can nitpick. Me mainly, we're not really offering too much of a consistent threat. But at halftime, I think we looked braver after he scored. I think both teams had elements of nerves when playing out from the back. Obviously, we had a timid start. I'll just give credit to a degree to Ceballos and actually Joe Willock working harder on the flanks, people, as you can see. Let me zoom in a bit, because I understand a lot of you can't see. Our pressing is a shambles, as I've already said, and it's too easy to beat. You know, we're giving the ball away cheaply. Martinelli is the bright spark. Too easy to break down, as I said, and we're not following runners, which, you know, was the case in the second half. And it was firmly the tale of two headers, people, in that game, as you saw, you know, Lacazette and Gabriel Jesus at this moment, people. Like I said, can we look after the ball a bit more? Can we have a bit more self-belief? Because nobody expected us to win. Everybody expected this result. But what we needed to do was present a bit more problems. We know City are a good team. We know Pep Guardiola, since coming to England, has fallen in love with this trophy, amongst others, people. Second half, again, what is said at half time, because we've conceded 3 goals. We've conceded from a set piece. We do look quite open, and You know, I think Runnison was the decisive factor. You know, when you make those two mistakes, you're always out of the game. But at the same time, I don't like to just blame one man. What have we done collectively as a unit? Keeper done us with two stupid mistakes. You know, I do think Phil Foden was offside, but he's rushing out, and he made Foden's mind up really and truly with just thinking him. Foden's done that a couple of times. The free kick from Mahrez, and you've heard Mahrez pre-game. Mahrez has even said, "I'm surprised by the goalkeeper's positioning." You know, on top of poor distribution and looking shaky overall. You know, the one good thing Renison did was that saving the 41st minute shortly before half time, all undone. You know, he's pulled it the same size as Renison, and Renaissance flapped at it. It's a cheap goal. It's an easy goal for Mahrez to score. And, you know, it's probably the easiest free kick Mahrez will score. Again, we let ourselves, listen, you know, it's always difficult when you've made those two mistakes and you're chasing the game. We let ourselves down from a set piece ultimately, which annoyed me, like against Everton and like against Burnley. And going into the Chelsea game at the weekend, they have people that will exploit. Apologies for the typo. So it's not for positive reading. You know, we're this close to Wembley and some of the team selections were baffling. Now, obviously, there's games have been coming thick and fast, and some players have probably needed to recharge mentally, and some are probably carrying knocks. But a lot of those decisions, I didn't get it. You know, Mustafi, if you're going to play Mustafi, who is not the future of this club in any way, shape or form, why can't Saliba play? I know there's talk of Saliba having a meeting, and again, it could have killed Saliba's confidence, but who's more likely to learn? You know, Paulo Marie's on the bench. He's doing under 23s games and whatnot. Why is he not playing today? Sort of thing. I know Gabriel's played because he was suspended. I don't get it. I really don't. Runnison, you know, fair enough if you say he's trained and played well. But personally, I think it's even more concerning if you've previously worked with these City, man. These used to be your guys. You've spent more time in that dressing with the City, man, more so than you did with any of the Arsenal players currently. You spent how long, all heap of time with them. And I don't really get it, you know. So you've seen that. You've seen how potent they are. You've probably seen this keeper more so than we already know. How could you expect him to have confidence? Now, again, I understand it's a squad game. Clearly, you threw this game. You know, you were just hoping for a credible performance and just hoping we would save some face, and it ain't happened. You threw Runnison in at the deep end. He has to answer. You know, Runnison's made stupid mistakes. If I'm him and opportunities aren't too hard to come by, I'm making sure this doesn't happen. Like for me, you would never play for this club again based on that. But that's probably a bit reactionary. You know, I don't understand the Mustafi. Kolasinac, again, I think he was playing all right prior to conceding the last goal. But still bewildering decisions. Again, I get that you're resting players, but City are probably resting players. Even, you know, City, they're not doing the best in the league by their own standards, you know. They've rested players and they've still named a very strong lineup, you know, compared to what they could name and really rest players. I'd say we even disrespected ourselves, disrespected the fans, and disrespected them to a degree. For me as well, no leader in that defense. The keeper's not vocal. The keeper's meant to be your eyes and ears. Everybody's playing up. I'm seeing Mustafi rushing out. Kolasinac is not. I don't know if Mustafi needs to open his mouth or Runnison the same, but Kolasinac is being silly as well and is caught flat-footed and has no clue of what's going on. And for me, you've all played football. You know, somebody needs to speak. The minute City have played that short free kick, short set piece from the corner, why have we not cleared our lines? Why has the keeper not shouted "get out"? Why is Mustafi, who should be one of the captains, saying "get out"? Why is Kolasinac not switched on enough? You know, you've got that. You know, for the two goal for definitely Gab Jesus' goal. In the build-up, Zinchenko as well. Go and look at Zinchenko and Gabriel's movement for the first goal. Go and look at their movement for the second and third. Well, the only one I would say you can't really get is the free kick. And you have to really just attribute that to the keeper. But go and look at the movement. They've got in between our defenders. All our team gets caught ball watching far too often, and some of these men are seasoned vets. That's why I understand when people say it's a toxic environment, don't throw the young players in, but they can't do any worse. Now we have to answer. We've got a lot of questions to answer in relation to Martinelli and whatnot, but he was a bright spark. Balogun and Smith Rowe looked a bit encouraging. Joe Willett put a shift in. Maitland-Niles was all right, even though he started to be a bit sloppy and whatnot. Martinelli's not hailing, but you get the point. The young players seem to be the only bright spark. You know, Cedric weren't amazing, but he looked like someone that wants to play games and things. And we weren't really in it, man. You know, we weren't in it. We shot ourselves in the foot, and it's damning, really and truly. We know City score a lot of goals against us and continued that. 13 shots, 7 on target. We had 6 and 2 on target. 57% possession to our 43s. You can all see the passing statistics. And for me, what was concerning is that Pep knew there was goals. He knew there was goals. At 3-1, he's bringing on, I can't remember if it's actually at 3-1, but he's bringing on Ferran Torres and he's bringing on Sergio. That was at 3-1. Now at 3-1, you've got a decision to make. Do you sit back or do you go for the fourth? Now against other teams, he might have sat back. Against us, he said, yeah, Arsenal might be open, but we always back ourselves to score more. Or he wouldn't have elected at 3-1, because if we score and make it 3-2, it's nervy. At this moment, we've shown that we can fight back in the game to some degree. But at the same time, he said, I can score. And the only benefit is Sergio didn't score and make it 5. And Ferran Torres, who I thought would get on the score sheet with as well. There are no positives, apart from Martinelli setting up a thing, but even he's injured, people. And ending thoughts again, sorry for the typos, but, Runnelson's terrible handling, terrible starting position. Everything's wrong with the goalkeeper. And I don't understand who sanctioned him. I've already made this point. You've played Leno in less serious rounds. And now it's a couple steps from a final. You're making rest. So again, Arteta has made bewildering decisions. And it's again where we go through and pick off 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names we don't understand. Mustafi doesn't have I'm not saying you can't use him, but he doesn't have a career here. Why don't you use what's going on with Marie? He might be injured, but he's on the bench. Marie's going to be a squad player at the very least. Why aren't you throwing him in here? Mustafi, is not part of this. Not that I'm blaming Mustafi, but I'm trying to find logic. Bringing a Marie, play Saliba, who could have learned today. Why are you going with Mustafi, someone who in literally next week can actually begin talking to clubs for free? So I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. We know we've got a bad squad with bad individuals. I know we can. I think the keeper's really to blame here. He gave us too much to work with. Probably take out the goals. The keeper made a mistake, and it's only 2-1 to Man City. But we can't do if spots and that thing there. We have to take it all in our stride. I would like to know who co-signed the signing of the goalkeeper. I would also like to know who said he was a good goalkeeper, because again, we all make mistakes. But come on, you can't afford to get things wrong. And again, this question marks the recruitment. And there's no feel-good factor going into Chelsea. Like I said, we rotated players. So again, it's not the same team. But if you had some sort of credibility in this performance, we might have had some joy. And for me, you can only say, all right, you look good for 45 minutes. Football's a 90-minute game minimum plus added on time. Ultimately, it's more pressure on Arteta, because on one hand, you could say it's the Cat Yarabel. Considering the decisions he made with the lineup, he threw the game. Which shows you the importance is on the Chelsea game, to which, if I hear that, he's doubled down on Chelsea. So if it's more of the same of that Chelsea game, you're not going to make it to Brighton. You're not. Arteta's not. I think Brighton is D-Day for Arteta if this continues. But he's not going to make it out of Brighton if this honestly continues, people. He has next to no chance of escaping out of that game, people. He's shown his inexperience with the team selections. Again, if he's rested players, again, he's got to put in a performance at Chelsea. And there's no feel-good factor for the fans. There's no bit of confidence. There's no real positives to take going into that Chelsea game, because we're going to go there and respect Chelsea far too much. We're going to consider the fact of, yeah, they won their last game, but they've been a bit shaky of recent too. They've lost twice on the spin, basically, prior to last game. And we're going to go there and respect them too much and sit off. And you can imagine Giroud, coming to our place, Giroud from a set piece, Pulisic, Tammy Abraham, how the script is going to go. Like I said, following runners, in addition to this, to no system, to following runners, to lacking at set pieces, it's more of the same. And it just makes me wonder more than anything, what the hell are we doing for training, really and truly? Because we can't score, we can't defend, we're letting in cheap goals and cheap mistakes. Like I said, for 3 of those goals, we didn't follow runners. And for 1 of those, we're not following runners. We're getting caught flat-footed and playing people on side on top of poor decision making. And now morale slips further. For the Halen youngsters, keep your head high, but it's further question marks and it's further bewilderment among everything else. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. It does not cost a thing. It does not cost a thing. 207 likes, people. And I can't blame you for thinking we're going to get piped by Chelsea, people. It's crazy. Absolute crazy. Man, like Microsoft Word document, Google Doc, man. To be fair, he's error prone as well. Error prone as well, man. It's a joke, man. It's absolutely a joke, people. Terrible pressing. You know, big up yourself, Robertson. You ain't deluded. Straight facts. Over 500 people watching. Hit the like button. There's 628 of you. Please hit the like button, people. Bro, Lacazette just strolls around the football field, in my opinion, and he's lost he's never been the quickest, but he's lost a yard of pace. And you know, we're not pressing together. And like I say, he's just walking about, man. He's just crazy, man. Like you said, JR, the young bucks are showing the experienced players up, man. You'd think the olders would play more intelligently for the sake of their pride, you know. I do think Maitland-Niles was quite sloppy in the second half. Bro, we don't have the right players, but at the same time, that's all a cop-out because there should be a system and these players shouldn't be making these mistakes. That's on Arteta, but for these players to fix up. Bro, it's a point where at this moment in time, if you allow Arsenal to stress you out, it's your fault now. It's my fault as well. Like you can hear, it's my fault because we know what they're about. Like we should stop getting annoyed at this. You know, there is nothing more to say, John Wayne, and big up yourself for the love, man. Wish I knew about that. Like Daniel is saying, L after L after L, so many below par players. Our players that have been out for months was our biggest threat. Facts, man. True. You already know he's playing this weekend. You know, Willock's a rough diamond. When he's got to put legs in the team, he's cool. It's just Willock's final ball and his end product isn't good enough, people. I 100% agree the squad is extremely imbalanced without a doubt. A blind man can see that, man. So many decisions I don't understand, man. Trust me, proper gem in my man. Big up yourself, Troy. You know, you're right, Don, man. We're all seeing the same thing, but those of you who, you know, those of them who make the decisions, it's terrible. You know, are making terrible ones. It was offside, but at the end of the day, we know there's no VAR, and Rennison's made his mind up. For me, Rennison is trying to rectify one mistake already, and you saw the script. You saw the script, man. Bro, Chelsea. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. That is crazy. The games are coming thick and fast. They're not getting any easier for us, people. May God help us. Big up the moderators as well, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. Bro, what is said at half time? Because we keep coming out here and moving mad, you know. I'm seeing more in Balogun's play than certain other man. Bro, this is why I think you can never overstate experience. I mean, it's overstated, but it can never be overrated. You know, you can never undermine having experience, but experience is only relevant if the players are good. And sometimes you can be a young man with experience and an older head who is inexperienced, like you see. You know, God forbid Leno gets injured or we're in proper problems, people. We're in proper problems. My guy, big up yourself. But at the same time, I don't want us to ever lose. I don't want us to ever lose whether I like a manager or not, because it's not productive for me. Fundamentally, I love the club, man. I love the club. I would love to. I'm gonna get into Arteta's comments. I want to know what Arteta's had to say in relation to this game, because it's got to the point where you have to find it funny. Surely you have to find the comment. Surely. Absolutely crazy, man. To be fair, Martinez wanted to go. The problem is any player can go. If you're not Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, you can go. The problem is you need to have a plan. We haven't had a plan. We've gone for the easy option, and like we've already known, when you take sometimes being cheap helps, but sometimes, you know, when you make cheap and costly additions, you get exactly what you pay for. You know, you get exactly what you pay for. We've bought a keeper who's below par. We can't be surprised that he's given us warning signs about such in the Europa League, and you know, consequently, you've seen what's happened in the in the League Cup, and could potentially happen in the league. God forbid Leno gets injured like he did for me in Football Manager. Chris, you're right, man. Chelsea don't do well against lower league opposition, so that might help us really and truly. We might have half a chance. You know, the only positives I can see is Martinelli and the Hey Lem boy. Smith Rowe had a couple good touches. Balogun had a couple couple good touches, but that's it. And that's clutching at straws, evidently, people. Moving on with what I've actually got here in front of you. That's my ending thoughts in relation to the game. I have a bone to pick with the medical staff as well, because again, I'm not gonna. Martinelli's injury is an impact injury, but there was concerns about starting the guy already. I personally feel Arteta made his mind up, and with resting players, he thought, you know what, Lacazette isn't gonna play for me at Chelsea. I'm gonna go with Eddie, which could be wrong, or Aubameyang through the middle. Martinelli will be on the bench and involved in some capacity, but for me, they're probably seeing it as, can we get him some minutes in the tank, some 60 minutes, and then obviously he's that much fitter. That gamble didn't pay off. Again, we should have just taken man off in the first half, definitely at half time. And it's like with a bit like Partey in that Martinelli's been out of football for how long? Martinelli is one of the few players that gets this anyways. You saw his mentality before the game started. You saw his mentality in the game. Sometimes you need to save players from themselves. Is it any coincidence this young and naive man and wants to do well, wanted to play on in the second half and had to come off injured? It doesn't make us look good. It makes your manager, Arteta, look inexperienced. And I have to question the medical staff. They know more about injuries and all the doctor stuff than me, but I just see nonsense. If the medical team have said a man is fit, whether that's Martinelli or or Partey or David Luiz, who we've even heard with problems and stuff, who they marked him out against City and against United, and he should have been. If a man's fit, then you're entitled to use him. And to a degree, I think that sets up players for failure. We got to go back to the Bellerin one. We've heard Bellerin under Arteta hasn't been fully fit. As poor as Bellerin is, why are we playing players that are not fully fit? I don't mind them on the bench. And to fans, as fans, we can only assume once they're in the squad, they've proven their fitness to some degree in whatever games, in however minute or duration of the game they're playing. But there is something to be said with the level of incompetence, in my opinion, within the medical team at Arsenal, because Bellerin has played with injuries. David Luiz has played with injuries. Like I said, save Martinelli from himself. Can we really be surprised that Martinelli has come onto the field and had to come off? Save him from himself. Now, how long have we potentially lost him? The benefits are he's still walking, and he did, rather than head straight down the tunnel, he stayed on the field. But how much of this is hurting us? We could have lost the battle today, which again, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not excusing it, but if we look at it without emotion, this cup isn't a priority. I think you can get Europa League, so maybe it should have been, and we should have had more of an intent, but it's not a priority. To which I'd say, what's the point losing Martinelli then? What does it mean? What's the grand scheme of things then? Lose a battle and win a war. You take him off, you might use him against Chelsea, you might have him for that. Partey against Spurs, similar circumstances. This guy is used to playing in the big games. He's come to the Premier League. He wants to play against Spurs. Save him from himself. You've been playing touch and go with his fitness, and lo and behold, he started the game and he's been injured, and that's contributed to a goal. We've heard with David Luiz, I've mentioned with Bellerin, there's been several other incidences. So what are the medical team doing? If they're signing off man to be fit, then they're setting up Arteta to be failed? Or if they're actually not fit and you're passing them as fit, you can already tell how that's crazy and how that's obviously a recipe for disaster. For me, I do think it's suspect. I don't think they're to blame for Martinelli's one, but I just feel when you're looking at it, it's looking a bit dodgy, and I have to blame everybody, really and truly. I really have to blame everyone. Big up everyone tuned in, people. Big up everyone in Canada and things like that. Hope you lot are locked in. Bro, you lot called me haters, not you, TW, but you lot called me haters when I said, bros, this Runnison guy looks like a year 7 playing with year 11s. If his goalkeeping shirt was his coat is too big. When your mum gets you several sizes bigger so it can last, you can't blame mummy for making sure her money lasts. People, it is. Kids run through things, people. And it's not good enough. Lo and behold, the goalkeeper is meant to be part of a unit with the defense. So when I'm seeing, we're not a unit anywhere, we're in the attacking sense, our first line of defense, we're not pressing together, and that's why we're being beaten. Our first line of attack with our goalkeeper, there's no options on the ball. We've got players with bad decisions today, Runnison just makes terrible decisions. Away from that, there's people hiding really and truly. There's no connection in any facet of this of our team. We don't look like a system. We're pressing sync with one man, where if some man are stepping out from the defense, some man are man marking, some man are zonal marking. People don't know what they're doing. And for me, it's meant to be a unit. Your keeper's meant to be vocal. He should be shouting at Kolasinac and Mustafi, get out. The whole team, get out. The players themselves. Some man are stepping out. People are playing people on side. It's crazy. Absolute crazy, man. Absolute crazy, man. Absolute crazy. It's like, big up yourself, Nicholas, as well, man. Hopefully there's better days, man. I've been saying that for time, brother. Been saying that for time. Absolutely time. So hopefully that is the case, but I'm personally not going to hold my breath. So let's go into some of these tweets that I've found surfaced, people. Apologies. Before I do that, I'm actually opening up another Google tab, so I can just keep this one singular tab. So we've got the reaction tab open. Yeah, man. Let's see what this first message is. What's this one? Yeah, look. This is the first time Manchester City have scored four goals away to Arsenal since 1961, when they conceded 5. So that's the first one we've got. Apologies, people. Boy, man, City. Man, I wonder how much in terms of facts City have bagged against us, man. They're quite clinical, and in fact, to call them quite clinical is to be quite disrespectful, really and truly. Woeful performance. As you can see here, people, Arsenal's last victory at home against a Premier League team was on the 4th of October. We're now approaching January, which again tells you the mess we're in and points further fingers at those in management and those above Mikel Arteta. It seems like Arsenal are a joke. One inconsistent side. Arsenal have had 6 different captains in their last 6 League Cup matches and 10 different captains in the last 12 League Cup ties. So again, we know definitely as an Arsenal fan, the captain's band is a fashion statement, but at the same time, for me, there's a serious lack of leadership. Even coming down to clearing your lines, there's a lack of leadership in taking onus of your future. Midfielders standing up to be counted, defenders, fullbacks, strikers, manager. There's a lack of overall leadership and accountability in the playing staff. There's a lack of general accountability with those at the top. So how can I be surprised that we find ourselves in this, and then we're going onto a football field and I'm not seeing any leaders? I'm not seeing people, like I said with the goal, people are not being told to clear our lines. Some men are pressing, like against Everton. Some men are showing heart, some men are not. It's crazy, people. It's not making any sense, people. Big up yourselves, people. We've got another super chat. Big up yourself, Dow Square One. I appreciate that tenor. DG, like me, you are big on the Halen boys, but is it because they're still playing Wenger ball under the BFG and not this scary Arteta ball, basically? I don't think so. I just think they're in a naive way. They're kind of free from the toxicness of this club. Like, they're not really to blame, and fans recognize they're not really to blame for any of our poor under the poor form. So I think people give them credit, and I think they're naive. They want to play football. Whether it's at Arsenal or elsewhere. It's crazy, man. Shout out to the Halen youngsters. They're the only ones that kind of get it, people. At the risk of this stream starting to lag, I wanted to show this, people. I really apologize if this goes south. But, Mahrez spoke about he was surprised by our keeper, people. As you can see here. I was surprised about the positioning of the keeper. He was so close to the post. See? See? See?
And luckily, he didn't catch it properly, so it's good for us.
What does that tell you, people? Let me come off that. Hopefully I hope that was able to be shown properly, people. I've come off that now, and I've actually rather sillily closed it, people, which I apologize for, but I hope that played. And what did that tell you? Mahrez is surprised that he done that, joke man thing, proper joke man. He's not going to make a difference in the sense of he's a good player. We need him. We need everyone to be a leader. We do need Aouar, but why would Aouar leave a Lyon side who's playing quite decent for this shambles, definitely in January, which won't happen. And also you would sign him and there'd be a lack of system in which every player is going to be crippled in that regards. That, You know, Mahrez was surprised about the keeper's nonsense, like you saw, people. Big up James Bench. Bench, you lot saw I did a good little interview with him. Check that out if you haven't seen that already, where we spoke about Arsenal stuff. But he's got a tweet. And like he said here, loath to speculate over Martinelli's injury, and Arsenal had one of the best doctors in the business to assess him at halftime. But in the space of a few weeks, that's now Luis Partey and the Brazilian, where they've made questionable decisions over match readiness. So again, there's incompetence. Maybe it's a mixture of the player being a bit forceful and naive, and maybe it's a bit of Arteta's pressure and asking them to put their bodies on the line and not saving them from themselves. Who knows? But like I said, for a team that's meant to be a world-class establishment, for a team that's meant to have first-choice medical men, it's happening too frequently to merely be a coincidence, people. Surely, you know, surely. Away from that as well, people, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Looking at Shaqwa, Fernandinho made 8 tackles for Manchester City this evening, more than the entire Arsenal team managed combined, which again shows you how timid we potentially are, people. It's crazy, isn't it? I also wanted to tell you, like I showed you lot with the last one, there's a lot of lip service at this football club. And it's pretty telling. Not Cronkies, big up Barbados. I don't know why I share you like that, but nothing to do with Kieran Tierney. Look at the caption before we played. You know, focus to then lose 4-1. Jolting. You know, absolute jolting, absolute nonsense. Let's go on Arsenal.com and see if we can delve into the manager's comments. This is a crucial period and we need results. Let's see. I hope this is still sharing. Is this still sharing with you guys, people? Yes, it is. Big up the 611 of you in here, people. Mikel Arteta knows we don't have time to dwell on our Cat Yarabal quarter-final exit. A run of 3 Premier League games in 7 days awaits, starting with Chelsea on Boxing Day, and then we've got Brighton and West Bromwich Albion away from home. Arteta might not be in the position if he continues like this and continues to make bewildering decisions. This screams like someone running out of options. And right now, he said, things have to turn around. This is a crucial moment for us in the season, and we have to do it this week. Obviously, the 2 goals that we conceded against Manchester City put the game into a really difficult situation. The first one was a really soft one, really early in the game. That obviously gives us the worst possible scenario in the situation we are in, a real test. The team reacted well, and after that, we kept trying. We scored a really good goal. We started to be on top of the game for 25 minutes. After that, I think we were the better team. Then in the best moment of the game, we conceded another soft goal. After that, we kept trying. We had a really good situation to go completely through on goal with Lacazette, but we missed a pass on the counter. They scored an offside goal after it was 3-1. I think the game was over. To be fair, it was, but we made our bed and we have to lie in it. I'm really feeling for the players and obviously for our fans, because something is happening every game for different reasons. And if I just type in Arteta, because clearly our Arsenal, I'm not going to bring up all of the stuff and whatnot, and apparently so he's still giving out his comments, so I think it's a bit of a tomorrow thing. But as you can see here, Gabby has a unique energy and a way to transmit his passion of the game. I think he plays the game in a different way to any other player, so it's hard to compare him, to start playing him more. Guardiola said, more than an exceptional human being, Arteta is an exceptional manager. Incredible human being, apologies. I think his proposal, I know what he wants to do. You just need to be patient. He's obviously going to back his guy, and we will be patient, but we just want to see certain things. Arteta's apparently said we have to turn it around, people. You know, press conference. Let's see exactly. Big up Football London, because we might actually get to see some comments in relation to this. You know, let's see what exactly is said. On Saliba's absence, he cannot be involved because he's not in the squad. He's not in the squad. I was under the impression that he was eligible to play in EFL games. No, we made that decision with him, and we'll see what we are going to do in January. So is the plan to loan him out? We are talking about it. Yes. On why Martinelli was sent out for the second half, because he was pushing, saying that he was completely fine, saying that he wanted to carry on and that he wanted to try. He had a scar that wasn't open and he wanted to try, so we gave him the possibility to try. And when he wasn't on the pitch, he wasn't comfortable. So it was an easy decision. Save the man from himself. We know he wants to try. We know the problems, but save him from himself. I shouldn't hear my manager say this. You're the manager. What are you talking about? He was pushing. Is this power league? Take the man off. Take the man off. Because again, I hope in the next 20 to 48 hours, if there is a scan, that it's all right. But it's not making sense. Oh, the infamous bad luck. It is what we are fighting against, but we are going to keep fighting. There is not any other way. It's a really hard result to take. But as well, we have to look at things that can help us for the future. And I have to say, for the young players in a really difficult scenario, they did well. Fair play. On whether Martinelli is an example to the rest of the squad, we've already mentioned that. The rotation of players, he says it was a combination of the amount of games that some of them have played, some injuries that we have at the moment, and players that could not be involved in that. And others because there are players who deserve to play. When asked on Martinez, people, it's no point having regrets or not. And that's true, that's always going to be asked. But at the same time, I think Martinez should have stayed, but the minute the bed's been laid in it, we need to talk about why this poor keeper was brought in as a replacement. If you're not Lionel Messi, if you're not Cristiano Ronaldo, club shouldn't care that you leave. It's all about how you replace, and that's the problem with Arsenal. And he said there were different reasons why we had to do that transaction. We did it, and it's part of the past. Emmy had a really good few months last season. He really helped us. And obviously, when a keeper makes an error, these things are going to come up. But there were 2 errors, really. Probably had a hand in 3 of the 4 goals that we conceded, really. On whether it's difficult for Renison to come back from his error, it is, but we win and lose together. Alex has played other games. We decided to play him tonight for a lot of reasons. That's it. The responsibility is all on us. Okay, the responsibility is all on you. When asked on reflecting on the game, he said a really painful moment again. We started the game conceding really early, a really soft goal. Are you starting off the boys in the right way? After that, in this moment to get through, that obviously is difficult, but the players reacted, to be fair, and we started to grow as the game was moving forward. We scored a goal, a really good goal. And after that, I think we were the better team for the next 25 minutes. We did have a decent period, but at the end of the day, being good for 45 minutes, being the better team for 25 minutes is not what gets you the result over 90. Neither of us talking about percentages or bouts of possession or the amount of crosses we put in. Fair enough, though. But when we have the best moment in the game, we can see another soft goal, and that makes the game even harder. But still, we kept going. Shout out to Haaland. We had an open situation where we had an open situation where we play Laka. Sorry, we had an open situation we play Lacazette through. Where we play Lacazette through. We missed the pass, and on that counter-attack, they scored in an offside position. And again, you knew being on the counter, that being on the transition is in the same way against Spurs and in the same way against Everton is something we had to be wary of. And when you keep seeing what we're seeing, you have to assume that this is by design, not by, anything else. We're choosing to make these mistakes by focusing on other things. So again, coaching, again, individual players with poor thingies. I'm not going to talk about Pep being kind. It's irrelevant. On Martinelli's injury, no. It's just a really bad kick on his shin, and it was swelling up, and he was in pain and came off. So again, hopefully we put some ice on that. The swelling goes down in relation to the game on Boxing Day because we're going to need him. Hopefully it's just a bit sore for him. And he said we are going to keep fighting. There isn't any other way. It's a really tough result to take, but we have to look at things that can help us in the future. Not really sure there is anything, people. I think this is it. What is this? He's played a lot of games for us. He hasn't adapted to the league, and that's it. We all make mistakes, and we have to support him. We all make mistakes, I don't think he should be killed for this. There's always tomorrow. He should be allowed a chance to fight. That's just me as my man, with my manager hat on and my DG Devil's Advocate hat on. As a fan, first and last game, some man, you only need one game or one moment to show you they're not levels, and I think he clearly shows you that. And not adapting to the league, it's not making sense to me, man. It's not. I'm not going to take that, because then again, it does. If he's not adapted to the league, why are you not playing Leno? If Leno has a knock, I get it, but then why is Leno on the bench? So that tells me as a fan, Leno is fit. It's not like Macy's there or something. So again, this adapting to the league, it sounds stupid. If you're going to adapt to the league, you play him potentially against Newcastle in the FA Cup. I wouldn't even do that, but you do that. Or you played him in previous rounds against Leicester or something, or something like that. You don't play him against City. You played Leno. You even played Leno in the early stages in Europa League. Dare I say, people, did Rinison only come into the first team picture in relation to the Europa League when it became abundantly clear we're qualifying? You want to play your strongest team. This tells me you threw this competition. This tells me there was disregard. This tells me the focus was on Chelsea. Playing devil's advocate, this tells me that this is another bewildering decision. It's always, what's going on with Saliba? Why is Mustafi playing? Where's Marie? What's going on with Bellerin? Why ain't Maitland-Niles there? What's Cedric got to do for a chance? Why is Eddie playing? Why is Laka dropped? Why up this with Aubameyang? Martinelli this, Saka that, Pepe that, Willian starting, Xhaka this. There's so many, and when there's so many, I have to question, are you making the right decision? Because as fans, we're allowed to think, oh, why is the manager doing this? Every fan has that. But when there's so many, there's warning signs, people. There's warning signs, There's warning signs. And he did say, apparently, we're looking at a couple options that we have. Players coming in and out. We'll see what happens, really. It's a really complicated window with the way the football world is. So, again, we're not learning anything new under the sun there by Mikel Arteta, are we, people? And sadly, I think I've frozen. I've actually frozen. Hey man, no clue what the hell that was. Google Chrome keeps crashing. I've seen there's been a drop off in 100 people. That keeps happening, people. But that sums up Arsenal's night, doesn't it? That sums up Arsenal's night. System's not working. It's crazy, bro. Exactly. Hates Arsenal, man. Hates Arsenal. And you're right. Not you. You made one funny joke. I see you. You're right, man. Technical difficulties. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So I apologize. We've lost a couple people. It's bad, man. But like I said, that sums up that internet connection I've just had. It just sums up Arsenal, doesn't it? And it sums up our day. Disjointed. Positives really where there is none. Cherry picking positives where there is none, really. Yeah, we can say, yeah, for 45 minutes we look good, for 20 odd minutes we look good, like Arteta said, but at the end of the day, it's the only thing that matters is the 3 points or the victory, and that's something we haven't got, people. So we're in trouble. We're not going to get much better. Like I said, once again, apologies for the technical difficulties. Don't know what Google Chrome's problem is. Personally, I'm starting to think StreamYard isn't the thing. I might move, man, because there's been one too many incidences like that this week as well. It might be time to come off it. But yeah, big up Wayne, big up everyone who was, my moderators always got me. It's a thing like that, man. That's it. Just say you had a poor game, man. Say you had a poor game, man. Trust me. I wish that you eat humble pie, but based on that, I can't say you are my guy, really and truly. The way we're playing, we're playing atrocious, man. Big up yourself and love for the super chat. Big up Deluded. Sell Arsenal. It's time we realize the power in unity. Get organized and push these owners to stay. We're going nowhere with them. Well, if someone's got the plan, I'm all behind that, man. I'm all for that. We just need a consistent plan. We just need to know exactly what we're doing, and then everything else will take care of itself, people. Big up everybody. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, man. I think the only thing left really and truly would be player ratings, people. Big up all my Indonesian tugs as well. I really appreciate you guys. I guess it's player rating time, man. Please don't spam. You're making the evening harder than it needs to be. Trying to see if there's any more statistics for you guys. I don't think there is. Probably anything will just be more of a stream tomorrow. In fact, Michael Richards said, you look at the quality Arsenal are used to having and what they're having now. I just play the kids. The kids are better than some of the senior players here. They play with more freedom and less pressure. Facts. Facts. And I don't understand it, man. Runnison, in the same way Mikel Arteta was talking about Runnison and in relation to Runnison saying how, he ain't adapted to the league and things like that. For me, when you say he ain't adapted to the league and he ain't played the level of opposition, and then you go on and say he hasn't played a lot of games for us, he's adapting to the league and that's it. We all make mistakes. It doesn't happen. He said, we know Bird played a lot of minutes. He needed some rest and we wanted to give opportunities to other players. But in the context, you can't give them, people. So let's get on to the player ratings, man. Let's make this, let's have a bit of fun with it, really, man, because there ain't any other fun to have, really and truly. So what I'm gonna do, in fact, man, there's no need to flip the screen, bro. They even still send them emails. Let's get onto the player ratings to wrap this up, people. Arsenal 4-1, sadly, we conceded a goal within 6 minutes of each other with Foden and Mahrez. Obviously, 3rd minute Gabriel, and then 70 minutes after the first one, they struck. But in terms of the lineup, people, a lot of you already in today. 2 for Runnison. 2s are getting thrown out there. Minuses in that. Pardon me. It's a 0 for Runnison. First and foremost, a 0 for Runnison. You've got to give a 0. I have to give Runnison a 0. Shout out to him for that save in the 41st minute. Apologies, but I can't. That's cancelled out, really and truly, man. That's cancelled out when the free kick is the one that gets me. Like, you're just taking the P with that one. What's going on? The first goal, I think it's the defender's fault, but again, he's ball watching and he's never aware of Gab Jesus and tries to come out there. He's coming rushing out for Foden's goal. The 4th goal, he's part of it, but I don't think he's to blame. He definitely has a direct hand in 3 of those goals. So I think even a 0 is being too good. And I think I'm giving him a 0. I'm giving him a 0 for that save. And the fact of I do think we've thrown a man in there that isn't good enough. And I have a bit of pity for him, really. Once you cross that line, I don't care. I'm going to give a 0, but really it's minus, but I'm going to give him a 0. Mustafi, guys, what are you lot giving Mustafi? I'll probably give Mustafi I think it's a 4 for Mustafi. I think it's a 4, man. I think it's a 4. rushing out needlessly. Just don't think he got going. I'm going to give Mustafi a 4. I don't think Gabriel had the best of games. I'm going to give Gabriel a 5, but I think he was quite poor today, in my opinion. I felt he needless fouls at times. His ball playing was there, but I'm going to give Gabriel a 5. It's keen to see what you lot are saying. No love for Mustafi. I'm seeing 4s. I'm seeing 3s. 2. I think 2 is a bit OTT, but fair play. 4 is generous. World Cup medal means nothing really and truly when you do what you're doing. Gabriel, I've gone with a 5. 5 for him. 5. Gabriel might be a 5. So you're a bit harsh. You're saying he's trying too hard. 5. So yeah. As I've said so far, 0 for Runnison, 4 for Mustafi, 5 for Gabriel. No, a 4 for Kolasinac. I feel Kolasinac tried to get forward. I'm not Kolasinac's biggest fan at all. I'm probably his harshest critic. I think he done well in the air. That being said, I think, the last goal, why is he playing everybody on side? He needs to get up there. Gabriel was sloppy today. He gets a 5, but he was sloppy. I don't think Gabriel was good today. Needless fouls and that. Kolasinac gets a 4. He played better than I thought he would have played. So he gets a 4. I give Cedric a 5. I think Cedric could have closed down one of the goals better. I feel his crossing still lacks a lot to be desired, but I think he done all right in that regards. Like you said, Kolasinac wasn't the worst today. 4 is a good rating for him. We have to all shoulder some collective blame. I think a 3 for Cedric's tough. He didn't stand out. It's between a 5 and a 4 for Cedric. He started off well, but I guess you lot are right in that, he started off well and he kind of started slipping. So I'd give a 4 to Cedric. El Nene a 5. I don't feel El Nene was bad today, really and truly. A 5, a low 5. I give him a 5. Ceballos, I give him a 5. I think I won't go as far as to say I saw a reaction from Danny Ceballos, but I saw a better performance from him. I'll give him a 5. Maitland-Niles let his standards go in the second half, but I'd also give a 5 to Gabriel to Maitland-Niles. Really saying that, I'm trying to think. Yeah, man, 5 for the midfielders. I'll give a 5 for Maitland, just about. Joe Willock, I'll give Joe a 6. I feel he tried, didn't it? Like, I think there was energy there. I think, the one thing is that I saw that, a bit more bravery from Joe Willock. I think he pressed Laporte and tried to do a thing. I think whatever he was told tactically to do. So yeah, man, I'm gonna give a 6 to Joe, man. I think Joe tried a thing, man. And I'm harsh on Joe. I'm gonna give him my own little bonus point. I won't go as far as to say a 7. My initial point was a 5, but I'm gonna give him a 6 as a bonus for just one of the only players that seem to care. Lacazette. In fact, you know what? Joe will look a 5. Lacazette a 5 for scoring. It should be a 4, but he scored, so he gets a 5. Martinelli, I give him a 7. He got an assist. From start to finish, there was mentality there. From the moments he played, he tried a thing. So I'd give him a 7, really. Bit of bias, of course. Pepe, I'd give a 5. Usual frustrating self. Smith Rowe and Balogun didn't play that long enough realistically, but encouraging performances. So to recap the player ratings, personally, people, I've gone with a 0 for Runnison, a 4 for Mustafi, a 5 for Gabriel, a 4 for Kolasinac. I'm going to go with a 4 for Cedric. I'm going to revise that. I think we did get overrun in midfield, but I think Ceballos and El Nene could just about get away with a 5. It could, just off the basis of our show, a bit better than your last showing out. Maitland-Niles a 5, but the 3 names I've just said is just about 5s. Willock, I feel you played a 6, but I'm going to give you a 5. I think Joe done a little thing. It weren't amazing, but I saw a bit of heart and whatnot. Martinelli gets a 7 and Lacazette can walk away with a 5. So that's my player ratings, people. There isn't much more to say. Man are saying, a 4 showed more than much. Kolasinac, he has to... I was going to go with a 5. I was gonna go with a 5, but he has to. We've conceded 4 goals, and I think he switched off. And yeah, even my ratings might be too generous. I'm not on the reactionary thing. Oh yeah. Samir said, I got mad love for you, bro, but legit, you man are all talk, organize a march or something. You have the platform just like AFTV. As I said, when someone brings a plan, I'm all for it. Second of all, first and foremost, there needs to be something more than just a march. You know, stomping our feet will work for a second, but these things have happened. Third of all, how am I again? I'm only one man. I can't make a change. As I said, I'll get behind it. And second of all, what are you doing? Just because I have an alleged platform, what are you doing? You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? You know, I'm sure you're talking the realness, and I'm sure Arsenal fans will get beyond it. So what are you doing apart from sitting in your hands with your willy out probably now and looking, flickering between pages on whatnot? You're not doing anything. Calm down. Like, come on. A man said, what do you want me to do? Buy a strap and go and burst it off in the Emirates? Come on, man. I'm like you lot. You provide a problem, we can do something. Man said a march, bro. What's that? Like a march solves anything in life. You know, you see marches at number 10 Downing Street all the time and protests and all of them sort of things there. It's crazy. It's not going to make a difference. Come on, bro. Man, I said, what do man want me to do? You know, come on, man. If there's something coming, man, I'm with that. You know, I'm with that. I want my team. You know, I'm with that. Bro, brother, what does man want me to do, bro? What does man want me to do? I man them. I'm coming. He wants me to grab my baseball bat. All right, cool. I'm going Emirates right now. Let me go do a thing. Let me go do a thing. Or he wants me to go out the Emirates and protest and hold up a thing. What's that gonna happen? Like, bro, man wants me on the EastEnders thing. You know, if a protest is part of something, I'm all for that. But one man ain't gonna change that, brother. What does Donny want me to do, bro? Come on, man. Bro, man wants me to go lick off shots. Well, man wants me to get my baseball bat and go leg it off. You know, man wants me to set fire to the Emirates. Well, bro, man want me sitting in Belmarsh and that and not making vids. Like, what the man think I can do? You know, what the man, listen, a march can be part of the thing, but like Malone said, you know, do them thing there. If there's a proper thing, I ain't got the answers. I'm a football man. But the minute someone gives me a tangible solution to getting these men out or doing my little bit, I'm all for it. Come on, people. Come on, man. I like this, bro. It's tier 4 as well. What's man talking about, bro? Man just moaning for the sake of moaning, bro. It's crazy, man. What do man want me to do? Buy a strap, fam. It's crazy, bro. Buying merch will only do so much as well. It's part of it. Marching is part of it. Not buying merchandise is part of it. Not going to the games, not that you can, a part of it. But for every one person that doesn't do that, there's 10 million that will. And I also feel for it to work, Arsenal fans would have to drop the egos, because let's keep it 100% true. There are a small majority of Arsenal fans and podcasters and YouTubers and things that think it's all them or think they're above people or take credit for getting the Kroenkes out, or, you know, like we've seen with a couple of marches before, certain men have taken it as their thing rather than just Arsenal. It's all been other individual glory, man. Bro, man always suggest things, bro. Like, always suggest things. What's man doing, bro? Like I said, man's probably flickering between links. Probably got his thing in his hand, you know. Probably looking for some lethal lips or some pre-array or something. And he's just shouting at man, what go on for this thing? Low, man, bro. I'm as stressed as you lot, bro. Man's been on live stream how much leap hours now? Live reaction, watch along, ting them in the morning. You know, preview the day before. We're going to be doing live streams tomorrow. I've got one with Curtis Shaw. I've got a Chelsea little preview. If everything goes to plan, I'll probably be doing my own thing. You know, Thursday, there'll probably be something as well, people. But at the same time, bro, I feel your frustration, but specific to that game, I think Willock done all right. You know, you can say he ain't done that and you can question mark his credentials long term, but I think he done all right. You know, I'm not going to draw him out. I'm keeping it on a trill basis. Like, bro, man, I say March like Kroenke's not in America, bro. Like, what am I gonna do but get get feds coming and then what's saying IC3 with a bat and this and that? Next thing you know is free DG. I'm all asking people to sign into my YouTube account so you lot can send me canteen and all of those sort of things. You know, I'm out here trying to be the footballing guy on the wing, so it's all calm, dead. And I'm taking all them pictures with towels over my head saying the man them are soon home and the rest of it dead. Leave it out, man. Man, them need to calm down, fam. Bro, gunning, fam. Bro, I don't know about funny, but I don't know what some Donnies are on. What the man want from me, man? You know, man, are smoking budge, man. Hey man, you're moving a bit beaky. I know who that is, but you're moving a bit beaky, my guy. I don't play them sort of things, man. It's crazy, man. Oh, trust me, man. What do I want me to do, fam? Wait, man, think I can change things, you know, bro. Trust me. I love to piss up certain youths, but come on, man. Come on. Man want me to get on a 125 and just at it, man. Bro, man, you know what? Hey, one sec. Hey, one sec. Hey, Stan Kroenke, I beg you, allow it. I beg you, invest. That's what man think I could do. Like, man think, yo, Aubameyang, you know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Sid knock on the door. It's all a myth, bro. It's all a myth, bro. It's all a myth, man. It's all a myth, fam. Hey, trust me, bro. Them man there, they're the same man that are probably commenting on Heady One on Tion Wayne when they say, if I was there, I would have burst off my thing on the plane. Shut up. Shut up. Come on. We lost, but come on now. Be serious. Be serious. You know you ain't with it, bruh. You tough, right? You know you ain't tough, bruh. Calm it down, cuz. Doing all this internet tweaking, bruh. You know you ain't with it, cuz. You know you're good, you man. Hey, man for the man of the culture, bro. Boy, you know, I don't know about them thing there, my guy, man. Bro, bare vibes players. This all stuff see his vibes right now, bro. Oh, podcast from Belmar. She's all got me having to hide the phone when the govs are coming and that. And you listen, I've heard about certain hiding places. I ain't with hiding certain things on me and on. I ain't with that plugging stuff. You know, you're gonna have to bag me with that. Like, so I don't know what Dunnies want for me, man. Calm down, broski. Like, come on. Hopefully, I provided with you like with some amusement and whatnot, man. I don't want us to get relegated. I don't want us to go down in the division, but you'd imagine so because that's where the pockets will be hurt, you know. Bro, man can survive the burner. Man could probably give me a burner phone. Man could probably give me a dinger. Man could probably give me an alibi. You know, I don't mind because I see the fresh home videos. They look pretty damn fun, boy. Landing road and whatnot from the workhouse. But dead that, man. Moving mad, man. Hey, let's stop, man. Let's stop. I'm all PG and that. Hey, trust me, bro. Man are foaming at the mouth. You see why you shouldn't get angry, bro? You know, you see why you shouldn't get angry. Don't let anger make you say dumb stuff, man. Keep up the grind, will, man. Will, man. Will do, fam. Oh, man. It's crazy, man. Absolute crazy. Trust me, soon home, bro. I don't know what Dunny wants from man. Bro, like all them, like half the marches in life make anything different. It's crazy, bro. Bro, man, want me making using a macro and that, man. Jesus Christ, bro. Man, literally want me making tweets saying, "Yo, DJ has been locked up. He's innocent. You know, send to him code AC575 DG Belmarsh. Come on, man. Oh, what you in for? Oh, man, try burst on the Cronkies. What? Like, you know, that might help, man. Man might say, yeah, you're cool in the wing and that, you know, it might be cool, but dead that, man. Hopefully you lot feel a bit better, man. Samira, whatever your day was, you're moving mad, man. You're moving mad. You're moving absolute mad. Man said, what you been drinking? I'm here, man. You lot just think I'm one boring footballing done, man. Come on, man. Like, hey, have a sense of humor, man. Trust me. What's John saying? The last 5 minutes or so have been sublime. Hey, yo. Get the strap. I said get the strap, not that, brother. I don't know about that. Where'd you get your energy and with? I don't play them kinky game, brother. Hey, shout out to all the Indian fans, and I sympathize with you lot, bro. It's stupid o'clock and you can't sleep, and I assume you've got work. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. We're not pressing as a team. We're not pressing as a unit. We're not doing anything as a team, rude boy. So I think that tells you everything, man. I was on the wing like DG, crazy. I'd never let you lot forget it, but I'll be saying in every live stream, I can't believe I'm here talking with you lot. This time last year, you know, I was making my shank and doing this and that, and you know, that was locked up for 23 hours and no one sent me nothing, and I'm back now. I'd never let you lot forget that, people. Crazy, man. Bro, watch too much Top Boy, bro. I don't know what Donny was on, man. The same Donnies, yeah, who in the barbers getting pushed in front of. The same Donnies who are scared to ask are scared to open their mouth in certain situations will tell you they got the answer. Shut the hell up, man. You ain't with it. You ain't with it, bro. Calm it down, brother. Trust me. Cocky don't give a fuck about no pussy ask. You don't give a crap about no protesting. I'll always back it. I support the protest, but I ain't gonna make nothing different. If you was Cronky, would you invest now? Yeah, because I personally care about the club. He don't. They wish they knew me in real life, man. Hey, John, you're cool, man, but you got that comment was a bit crazy, my GG, man. You lot are moving a bit mad still. At least you lot giving me some humor. I should have cut out time ago, man. But we're here, man. Hey, man, it is what it is. It is what it is in relation to Arsenal, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. We just have to accept it, man. We just have to accept it. It is what it is, isn't it? We don't have to accept the dumbness, but for tonight we have to accept it, and we go again tomorrow. There actually isn't much more to say, man. Like, bro, you lot saw it, man. We probably are going down, bro, if we don't fix up, man. It's just down to us to prove you wrong, man. But we might be going down. You might be here. You're a fan of another club trolling me or trolling the channel at basically 10 to midnight UK time. You had one guy who should have used his mother's internet for something else, and we've got a next one who should be, man. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy, man. Man said dangerous goods. Very weird, my guy. But at this point, what isn't weird with Arsenal? What isn't weird? What isn't weird? It's crazy, man. Nice. It is what it is with this club, people, man. Respect Jack, man. But on that note, all good things come to an end. There ain't nothing else to keep you. I'd love to sit here and keep busting joke with you, lot, but I'm gonna go eat some chicken wings. I'm gonna go have some NF. I'm gonna go watch this game again. I'm gonna go get some sleep, and I'll see you lot tomorrow. Hella of live streams tomorrow, people. Hella live streams. I'm not gonna sit here and cap to you lot. Hella live streams. I'm gonna be with Curtis. I should have an Arsenal versus Chelsea thing. At some point, you will get me alone on YouTube. Speaking of more, we'll speak from a tactical point of view about this game, as I've obviously had time to watch it. I'll obviously talk about the talking points that obviously filter through from now and tomorrow, and there's all big piece of content and things like that, people, man. So yeah, man, it's been a long day. I don't want to keep any of you lot here any longer, so big up the 500 of you locked in. I apologize for any technical difficulties. I'm sorry to my man as well for being all talk and not lining up the protests. I'm out there right now. I'm coming off this, and I'm gonna go and do my thing, people. But I appreciate you guys. I big up all the members as well. In fact, final question. Big up to Curtis as well. Big up yourself, Jaden, Nathan, Wayne, One Knee Up. Big up Nuffin as well. Big up yourself. You're a gold member. I appreciate you lot as well, man. Really appreciate you. John has said, as a neutral, having seen Sheffield United and Brighton at the weekend, Arsenal will not be relegated. Those teams have no quality. Boy, we have to just assume we're being relegated, car. That's what we're dealing with now. But I'll see you lot soon, man. And Tailwood Studios said it rather sadly. It is like that, but we only see each other on a mad thing, people. But I'll catch you lot soon, man. DG, I'll make sure you've hit the like button, please. It doesn't cost a thing, and it helps me rank higher in people's videos and come across more people. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties. I'm out, man. Keep up the content. I will, man. I will. You lot keep coming back, and there'll always be content. Without you guys, I ain't nothing, man. We've got 30,000 subscribers. Hopefully this time next year we can say we've got 60 and beyond. I'll be back again, man. People, DG.